Hey, why don't you go ahead and interview or introduce yourself, not interview yourself.
Okay. Introduce
Introduce
myself.
yourself,
All right.
Butters.
Check it out, man. My name is DJ ButtersPro, the one and only hashtag Churn Up King.
Yeah. You know, that's all he does is churn up. Yo, and my name is King Duke, aka the Backwoods Hippie, and you are tuned into Gonzo Styles Radio presents 10 Questions with King Duke. So without
Ooh.
further ado, DJ Butters, where'd you get that badass t-shirt at?
Man, this badass savage t-shirt right here. I make a couple stops here and there throughout my little travels, and I like to pick up the one shirts that just stand out to me a little bit. Like, you go to like Goodwill or something like that, and you will never find like one shirt there that's exactly the same as any other one.
Oh yeah.
So I like to find the one that I think nobody else has, so I will stand out from the rest.
Boom. That's what's up. That's what's up. So why don't you tell everybody when your next show is? Where can they catch you live next?
Next show I got one at Repeats in Elkhart, Indiana. That's my hometown. I'm doing a New Year's party there. I got a couple birthday parties for like my homies and stuff that I haven't seen back at home. I'll be in Illinois here soon. I actually just had a great show in South Carolina in the Florence area with my boy Ray Gotti and Joey Dollar and the fam like them. Bro, great show right there in South
That's
Carolina.
what's up.
Good people.
Hell yeah, South Carolina, man. I go there like once a year to Hilton Head. My grandpa lives down there, so I go down there once a year. That's a dope ass spot.
Man, see, the thing is, I thought it was gonna be like cold because I know the South was supposed to be cold around this time of the year, like I seen on the Weather Channel and whatnot. It was beautiful. I was driving, rolled my windows down. It was just lovely aroma of weather and whatnot. Man, it just like welcomed me so much to that area, and I just didn't want to
Uh,
leave. To be honest with you.
yeah, I don't ever want to leave when I'm down there either, bro. I don't ever want to leave when I'm down there. So, question number three, man. I'm not going to get into too many juicy details because I'm sure that you don't want to get into too many juicy details. But
I'll do it the
you're
best I
no
can.
longer you're no longer working with the Redneck Wave. So, what are you doing for 2019?
2019, I am not 100% liable to say exactly what I'm doing, and the only reason I say that is because contracts have not been signed yet. But I have communicated with quite a few people as far as just gig to hire shows. Um, I've spoken with quite a few artists. Like likewise on like Ray Gotti, Big Poe. Um, I know some things with the Hillbilly Riot tour came up, and then also with the Rebel Run. So there are plenty of opportunities for me, and a lot of things in the works. But I mean, I just can't say that I'm, connected to one entity. But I know that there are plenty of opportunities out there for me, and that I will be making an appearance at, some of these events.
Okay, so basically, you're a free agent.
Yep,
You're just an independent contractor, right? Okay,
yep.
cool.
That's how I like to look at
So,
it.
question number four, bro. What kind of artists are you hoping to work for in 2019, and what kind of artists are you definitely working with in 2019?
Okay, there's a few that I'm really hoping to work with, and these are a few people that I've contacted like out of my own. Um, I got in touch with Little Uzi's manager.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and Lil Uzi's like, he's like one of my like, you know, go-to people as far as like music that I listen to when I'm in the, in the car on the radio or something like that.
Hell
I,
yeah!
I reached out to Sheck West's manager, just because he had a good album and a couple of hits and whatnot. Um, but I mean that's more like the hip hop genre. Now, as
Hmm.
far as like the the hip hop genre, I've had a couple follow ups with Frank Embry. That's kind of like 50-50 in the air right now, but he's a really solid dude, and there's a lot of promise behind his character and his motivation in his music. So I'd really like to complete a project with Frank Embry, and as well as Ray Gotti and Big Poe. Me and him have you know a couple projects in the works right now that I know are just gonna set together, and I can't wait for y'all to hear those.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. That's good shit. That's good shit. So, so you're not exclusively working with the country rap scene or the hip hop scene.
No, no, absolutely not, man. And I'll say that because you know, when I first got into it, I wasn't really sure what it was all about. You know, one of my friends actually said, "Hey, man, this should be something that you should look into." And you know, at the time, I was working at a bar around town. It was called the Keys, and you know, it was strictly hip hop. You know, like they have never heard anything about Upchurch or Adam Calhoun or anybody in that genre. And you know, I kind of made a status online. I was like, who would like to see me DJ one of these, you know, country rap festivals? And you know, I had over 200 comments saying yes. So I got a little bit of a, you know, a little bit of clout off of that, and they were just, you know, the bigger guys, you know, kind of just saw, you know, the following that I had, and they're like, well, let's see what this guy's about. So I mean, it kind of transitioned. I've always been from hip hop, you know, a hip hop person. Then I did the whole, you
Mm-hmm.
know, country hip hop type thing, and it meshed really well because I knew how to, you know, create these beats, and I was a producer, and I had a little bit of a following at the time, so it just kind of built off of its own.
For sure, for sure. I'm kind of the same way. I never considered myself any kind of country rap artist or hip hop artist, but
Yeah,
I keep getting booked on these damn shows.
yeah,
I'm with it, bro. I love the crowd for real. I love the crowd. It's just I'm not going to change my musical style
exactly,
you know.
exactly, and they're pleasant. You know, I haven't met anybody at any of the shows that have you know, been, you know, absolutely disrespectful in any way, or you know, they don't talk a whole lot of trash. They're there for a good time.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And as long as you can provide that for them, they're gonna have a good time and they're gonna love and respect you for it. So that's why I fuck with the scene and the crowd.
Oh yeah.
So do you consider yourself more of a DJ or more of a producer?
Okay, and this is actually one of my favorite stories right here because I actually began as producer. I went to college in Arizona for audio engineering at Kraz University, and I graduated as an audio engineer because I wanted to be a producer and a beat maker, and I wanted to work in a studio. Like my end game goal was lock me in a studio and throw away the key. You know, that's all I wanted to do. But then I started producing
Yeah.
for people, and they had a hard time getting shows. They had a really hard time getting shows at like any local bars or any places like that. So then I had bars hitting me up, and they were like, "Hey, you know, have you ever thought about DJing?" And so I started connecting myself with these different bars and areas, you know, where, you know, my artists were at, and it made it easier for my artists to get shows when I was the DJ. So I basically
Okay.
plugged myself with the bars as a DJ so my artists could get shows. So I never really expected myself to be a DJ, but you know, the following's there, the money's there. If I wasn't working at, you know, 9 o'clock in the, you know, at night to 3 o'clock in the morning, of course I'm gonna hustle. You know, I want to make my money, I want to work, and then it's exposure as well for the people that I was producing for.
Absolutely. And exposure for yourself too, because you can that's good networking events, you know?
Yep, that's how I met new artists. That's how I got, you know, a good clientele, moving my beats and different stuff like that. So it, you know, I didn't half-ass it either. You know, like I really took the time to learn my best how to be a presentable DJ. You know, I was kind of shy. I was never really like, you know, outspoken, but you know, it took a little while to break the ice and, you know, learn how to feel the crowd because the crowd wants to hear what they want to hear, and you got to learn how to play to them. You can't just play your favorite songs and just expect them to have a good time. You got to play what they want to hear.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct, man. So like I saw you DJ at the Redneck Wave, Indiana, the second one, I believe.
Hmm.
And by that time you had already been very, very comfortable as a DJ. I could tell you were like a seasoned vet, you know, like you knew what you were doing, you controlled the crowd well, you
Yep.
interacted with the crowd well. So would you say that you're more passionate about DJing now, or you're still more passionate about the creation of the music as a producer?
And you see, that's a tough one because it's hard to pick and choose. what you want to invest all your time into. And I say that because as an entrepreneur, I have to learn every facet of being a DJ, as long as being a producer, being an engineer, a lot of things, depending on how business rolls. I could have 10 people hit me up and say, "Hey, Butters, man, I need beats." So I'm going to spend more time, focused on making beats than I will on DJing. But then say I got a big show coming up where there's going to be a lot of people there. I'm gonna prepare my sets. I'm gonna make sure that I know what I'm getting into. I do my research on who's gonna be there, the artists that are gonna be performing alongside me as I'm DJing. So I know exactly, my background. Like, it's a lot of research that goes into it. And it's not just, you know, jump up on stage, plug in my stuff, and I'm ready to go. And it's not like that. It's very deep. It's a huge thought process, as far as what my next move is, what I'm doing. If I'm DJing, I got to do this. If I'm making beats, I got to do this. And that's why I say, being an entrepreneur, you have to be prepared in every facet.
For sure, for sure. So, have you ever thought of joining any kind of record label as a contracted producer?
Hmm. Who?
I know that you kind of had that going on for a minute.
Yeah. I talked to Coast to Coast. They give a lot of opportunities to, like, up and coming artists and producers. But the thing is, as a producer, I never really, like, made my work public to anybody. I kind of just locked myself with an artist and put my all into them. See, like I can say, Justin, when he started to come around and started making music, I told him that I'm a producer as well as a DJ. So then once, he came in and, booked a session with me, we recorded Rockstar Redneck. I made that beat right there in the studio, and I recorded it right there in the studio. And, he fell in love with, the sound that I was capable of producing. And, he wanted me to produce for him. And, this is advice that I got from, the big wigs in the industry, like, the people from, Atlantic Records and different and people out in Chicago. They said, if you find somebody that you're comfortable working with, lock yourself with them, like, attach yourself to them and see where that goes. So what I did in the beginning was I attached myself to a few artists and I gave my all to them. And then, you know, after all that, I decided to go public with my beats. And I have been contacted by different labels and different producers saying that, hey, you should check out Eardrummers. Oh, you should check out, or get in contact with Mike, Will, Jazzy Faye. And, and I've shopped with these guys plenty of times. And, their advices to me, like, from the labels themselves, their advice to me was to continue doing what I'm doing independently before I sign any records.
That's
So
smart, man.
yep.
Build your
So
brand. Build your brand.
yep,
Yeah.
I'm building my brand on my own right now before I decide to sign any paperwork.
So, speaking of building your brand, do you have any merch available for people? And if so, where can they find that?
Well, I've had a few merch. I tried the whole trinket thing because I didn't want to step on any of my people's toes. Like, everybody has T-shirts, everybody has hats. So I decided to go along the route as, like, shot glasses and wristbands and different things like that. But if you
Okay.
go to www.djbutterspro.com, right now all I have is my beats. And if you want to jump on, like, the e-commerce or anything like that, just hit me with your email.
Okay.
But here, if you want to see one of my shirts real quick.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You got them churn ups?
Now I got the DJ ButtersPro.
Ooh, snap. That's a dope ass shirt, bro.
That's fresh from Chicago. My buddy put me on and gave me a good deal for it. So,
That's what's up, man. So those are available on your website?
yeah, you just have to hit me on the inbox because I
Okay.
have to order, so many depending on how many, people want. I have a little stock, but not. I don't have like, I don't have like 500 available.
I got you. I got you.
No,
Okay,
yeah.
so that's what's up, man. So, okay, question number 9. Are you planning on throwing your own events in the coming years?
Woo. Man, you see, I've had plenty of ideas, and I've actually tried to shop this idea with a few people before, and uh, what my idea is, I want to do the Redneck Olympics.
The Redneck what? Olympics?
Yeah, the Redneck Olympics, and
Yes.
I think it would be so solid, bro. Like, tug of war with the mud in the middle. I want to do mud volleyball. I want to do log jousting. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit, yeah,
Bro,
bro.
yeah, get a team of like 5-on-5 and just compete until the very end. I thought that would be an amazing idea, and I think I can see that happening summer 2019.
Okay, well I'm fucking with that. So if that happens, let me know about it, bro. Let me know about
Super
it.
lit, bro. Super lit. Yeah.
So here's my question number 10. Who has been your biggest inspiration in this music industry? Like who pushed you to do what you do and who keeps you motivated to do what you do?
Oh man, see that's a tough one because I literally take influences in so many different ways. Um, like Scott Tamarco, DJ Trend. He's like one of my you know fellow friend DJs, and he's been DJing so many different events, and that's where I would like to be. I would like to DJ more than just country rap and then hip hop. Like I want to get into like the EDM, trap music type thing, like the actual rave
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, like rave
Where you
trap.
got
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the big lights going on and the foam parties and the CO2 blasting. I want people headbanging front row, just like feeling some beats. And I feel like I can create music that's outside of the perspective. You know what I mean? Like that's gonna mix, 80s to 90s rock and you know tie it in with some hip hop beats with a dope, like you know deep like EDM drop and different stuff like that.
Hmm.
But I at least want to come up with like an hour set. And yeah, like yeah, DJ Trend, DJ Double K, they've been big influences to me because I have to do a lot of research on the people who are really killing it in the game right now. And
Hmm.
I just kind of like paved my way, like learning from mistakes and gaining experience. So it's like a lot of the times I've been self-taught, so I decided to go ahead and look at everybody else and see where they're going with everything, and then I can kind of create my own lane and my own like sound compared to
For
everybody.
sure.
But I mean, I've DJ'd for Adam Calhoun quite a number of times, and he's very humble about it. So seeing him as an